everybody? We're back here with another vinyl review, and today we got Good Kid, Mad City. Great album from Kendrick Lamar. It's actually, the full title is Good Kid, Mad City, a short film by Kendrick Lamar. And let me tell you, this album's got a full story behind it. Sorry, my hair is crazy, I look like crap, but we got one of the best albums that we're going to review. So let's just get right into it. I could go on and on and on about these songs. We got 15 tracks on this vinyl, and I'll try to be as short and precise as I can with them. But without further ado, before we go into it, my favorite song going into this was Poetic Justice. I really like Drake's verse in it. I like just the whole vibe of the whole song. It's awesome. So with the first song on this, though, we have Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter. We're just gonna call it Shireen, though. Okay. So Shireen's got a nice vibe to it. He's going to probably hook up with a girl, and then there's trouble. There's trouble afoot. Trouble's brewing. He starts seeing some dudes that really doesn't vibe with. I gave that a 7.8. It's got a nice voicemail from his mom that leads into the next song where his dad said, "Cut my oldies back on. You killing my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe" is the next song. Great song. Everyone should know this one. This is like an OG song from back in the day for people my age. We were listening to this in high school when this came out. It's very catchy. It's got a nice soothing chorus. He's kind of questioning the rap game that he's trying to get into. And you can kind of hear that in a quote that says, "My city found me and put me on stages. To me, that's amazing. To you, that's a quick check. With all disrespect, let me say this." And then he goes, "I am a sin." It's just, love that song. Gave it an 8.2. Backseat Freestyle was actually one of my favorite songs in high school. And I think it might have just been because of what he was saying in it. It was very jokey. It was very, not jokey is the right word, but I don't know. It just kind of catches you off guard with what he's saying in it. I gave that one a 7.3. I kind of grew out of it, I guess I should say. And then The Art of Peer Pressure is just a really, really good song of reflection on himself, because he says really, I'm a sober soul, but I'm with the homies right now. And then later he says, really, I'm a peacemaker, but I'm with the homies right now. And it's really showing what peer pressure can do. He's easily influenced by the people around him. It's peer pressure, And it really has a good setup of what they're getting into at that night, because you hear a clip of someone saying that there's somebody in the room and that they got to get out of there. And he says, "I looked at the back window for any flat screens, DVDs, Nintendo's flat screens, DVDs in the trunk," something like that. And then they're running from the cops, so it's kind of a reflection of hey, I don't really want to be in this situation, but here I am now, and I keep doing this type of thing because of the peer pressure from his friends. Then you go into Money Trees featuring J Rock. Oh, well, The Art of Peer Pressure, I should say, first off. I gave it a 7.9. It's got awesome storytelling in it. Money Trees with J Rock. It's kind of like a wrap-up of the first 4 songs in a way, is what it feels like. It's kind of saying what the money can do for him, what he wants to do with the money. He's kind of daydreaming of what he's going to be able to do when he gets the money, and then he's doing these petty crimes to try to make some quick money. And J Rock's verse really ties into it, and he says imagine rock up in your pockets, where those dudes pick your pockets, Santa Claus don't miss some stockings. It's just setting up the environment that they're in at the time of trying to just make a quick dollar however they can. And then after that, you go into Poetic Justice. Well, I'm messing this all up, man. Money Trees, 8.5. And then you go into Poetic Justice, which, like I said, was my favorite one going into it. It's very soothing delivery from both Drake and Kendrick. The lyrics really set it up. It's very poetic sounding. I love the sound of it. I give it an 8, though. So we already got a couple songs that are ranked higher. Growth, man, growth. I'm growing as a person. And then we go into Good Kid, not Good Kid, Mad City. That's the album. We go into Good Kid after that, which is I really overlooked this song, I think, when this first came out. This is a very deep song, he's feeling stuck in a crazy world. He's, trying to show, some confidence, because at one point he says, step on my neck and get blood on your Nike checks. I don't mind, because one day you'll respect the good kid, Mad City. And it's him saying like, you don't realize what you're doing right now because I'm gonna be something and you don't realize it at the moment. But then it also goes into like him getting pulled over by the cops and the cops kind of disrespecting him in that way because he switches the line and it says, "Step on my neck as hard as your bulletproof vest. I don't mind because I know you'll never respect the good kid, Mad City." And it's kind of just like an interesting look at like to the people in the streets, I will be a god. I will be hailed as one of the top people ever. But to these police officers, I'll never be anything. It's kind of an interesting look. I gave that an 8.7. Then you go into Mad City with MCI after that. This really is a staple of Kendrick's. You know, you've seen the videos of him performing this live, and you know the videos don't do it justice when you're actually live. I did get to see him on the Damn tour. It was awesome. But without going into that, this song is awesome because it's got a very intense beat. It's showing scenes with his lyrics of like what the city is like. And when MC Ike comes in, he's kind of talking about like what it was like before and what it's like now and why you gotta move the way you move. I gave it an 8.8. It's a classic. You know, you can't think of Kendrick without thinking of this song. You know, because it's that beginning, man. If Parus and Crips all got along, they'd probably got me down by the end of the song. It seems like the whole city go against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear pop, pop. It's, yeah, you know it. 8.8, best rating so far. And then you go into Swimming Pools, which is also an OG classic song. Like I said, this came out when people my age, I'm 25, were in high school, and we were like kind of first really becoming social and maybe trying drinking for the first time and stuff. So, you know, this song has like a lot of sentimental value to it for a lot of people. I feel like it was one of the first songs you heard from Kendrick. It was a good solo hit. It sounds crazy in headphones too. I know that doesn't really matter, but when he's talking, when his conscious is talking to him, it goes back and forth, and it's really cool. Um, but you know, the song was playing with a lot of great memories with my friends. I give it an 8.5. It might be ranked a little high because of sentimental value to me, but 8.5, it's a good song. And then you go into Sing About Me Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, which is kind of a two-part song. It's a long song, like it's like 10 minutes long. And, you know, it's got a very deep meaning. And you know, it has that prayer that's at the very beginning of the album that you start out with, and it kind of wraps it into what the meaning of that prayer was. They're repenting for their sins. They talk to an old lady at the end that's like saying that they need to chill out, you know, even though one of their friends died. Like, it's not a reason to wild out and act crazy. And that's what leads into that. I mean, that is why the song "Sing About Me" starts off. It's about remembering the people that have died or the people that have had an influence in his life, and the people saying things to him is what it sounds like. And then you go into "I'm Dying of Thirst," which is where that prayer comes in. And pretty much the meaning of that is like, you know, you could be living in hell, you could be going through some of the worst times ever, and you're dying of thirst because of the situation you're in. And the thirst part is meaning like holy water, you need to get baptized, is what the whole situation is, kind of. So it was kind of interesting. I gave the first part an 8.7 and the second part an 8.1. So overall, the song as a whole, the whole 10-minute song, gets an 8.4. It is good. It makes you think a little bit. It's very interesting. Real is up next. It's track 11, and it's got Anna Wise in it, and her voice just kind of fits the tone of the song. He says that, like, you know, you can see where, when people are lying to you, when people are just gassing you up and it doesn't really mean anything. People being fake, you can see it in their eyes. And, you know, it's just kind of interesting to see his perspective of, like, he's seeing these people become fake in front of him because they're seeing his talent and stuff like that is really what it is. And, you know, in the end, materials don't really make you real. You know, it's not what you have, it's what you do for people. It's how you are to people, type of thing. I thought that was very interesting. And then it ends in a voicemail from his mom saying that Top Dog called and he wants him to be in the studio. I gave it a 7.9 because I think it's a very good setup for what is coming next into the album, because the next two songs have Dre in them and they're very like Compton, Cali Love type things. So we'll just talk about them. Real 7.9. Compton with Dr. Dre showing love to the city, and it kind of sounds like a triumphant beat, like, hey, I'm at the top, but this is my city. This is where I came from. This is why I am the person I am, type of thing. I gave that an 8.1. And we got a similar type of storyline with The Recipe. It's about Cali, though, with a more broader sense to it. Like, Cali is the place to be. There's a lot of stuff you can do. The 3 Ws, if you know the song, you know what I'm talking about. That one got an 8.3 as well. Got to show love to your hometown. It's what shaped you to become the person you are. Black Boy Fly is I want to say this is probably the most overlooked Kendrick song that he has put out. The storytelling in it is amazing because he's reflecting on like these people he's seeing around him. Like he says he was jealous of Aaron Afalo because he was like a very good basketball player, for those of you who don't know, and he was from Compton, and he saw him like the way he was moving, the way he was like focusing on his craft and always being in the gym and all that stuff. He's seeing them succeed, but he's also scared that maybe he'll get left behind because they would be the last ones to come out of Compton, even though he's got the backing from TDE now and everything. And then he's comparing himself to those guys. It's very deep, and it's awesome storytelling. You really get to see what his life was like right before he gets signed, and then once he gets signed, he's like, he knows he's gonna have a big impact, which is kind of how I think, I want to say, after the song Real, this is kind of like his triumph, like he's made it, but this is what is going on. So Black Boy Fly gave an 8.7. It's awesome storytelling in that song. And then we ended off, wow, I did this quick. There we go. That ended off, we got track 15, Now or Never, featuring Mary J. Blige. Again, another overlooked song. It's got like a sweet victory, joyful, happy, upbeat sound to it. There's more triumph in it. He has the chance, and all he has to do is really grab it. TDE has shown praise and love. He's got to work with Dr. Dre. He's working with Mary J. Blige in this song, just complete legends of the industry that he is cracking into. And like I said, more triumph in this one, and his expectations are very high of himself, which it seems like a good song to throw on if you're kind of like, if you just accomplished something, you put that on, kind of thing. I gave it an 8.8. It's overlooked in my opinion, and it's a great song. It's a great way to end this album when he's talking about like I was in the streets, I was doing this with my friends because of the peer pressure, and then I got the chance from Top Dog, and then I got to meet these people, and now I'm going to put on for my city, put on for my state, and pick them up and talk about why everything's awesome, So 8.8 to end that off. I did the math. Overall, with these 15 tracks, got an 8.26, but I did give it a bonus half point because just the way these songs rap into each other, and you'll go 1, 2, 3 songs without hearing a certain thing, and then it gets brought up again to add more emphasis, more of a point to what's going on. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, this is like truly a story. It's not just an album with a bunch of songs thrown on. This is a story through and through. Each song has its place. Each song has a rhyme and reason why it's in there. You got to give it an extra bonus points for that, 8.76 overall. Awesome album. I love it. So let's get into the fun part, Let's look at what this thing looks like. As you can tell, not much of a difference right from the jump. Back is a little boring and plain. Open it up, a little boring and plain over here, but you got some photos. It's kind of cool, So for the artwork, I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. I think the little photos in there is a little nice way to show his family and stuff. The sound, it kind of sounds slightly sped up on vinyl. They all sound fine, but it's not, I don't think sped up is the right way to put it. It's like they're all slightly higher pitched, every song. It doesn't really take away from it. You can still listen to it on vinyl. It sounds fine. But, So I didn't give it the bonus 0.5. I gave it an 8.26 on that. And then I promise I have normal colored vinyls, but it doesn't start here. I did have a normal colored vinyl for this, but then I was like, oh, they have that? So yeah, I'm gonna get a clear one. Like, are you kidding me? Look at this thing, dude. It looks like a plate. Beautiful. And it sounds great. When you're listening to it, like I really didn't think it was gonna, I have a couple more that are like this, and the first one I got, I was like, does this even work? And it does, and it sounds good, and it's cool. Like it's completely see-through. Like, hi. So with all that being said, I gave that a 9. Put them all together, you get an 8.13 overall for the vinyl. It's a great album overall. It's just, if you're into rap and you don't know this whole album or you haven't listened to this whole album, you need to go back and listen to this whole album. It is great. So all that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll spin the wheel to find out what the next one is. And if you guys are feeling up for it, you can like, subscribe, do all that stuff. If you're liking what I'm doing, if you got other albums that you want me to look into and do a review on that aren't part of my vinyl collection, I'll do them. I'm open to anything. It could be old, could be new, could be rap, could be rock, country. I probably won't do screamo bands, but that's cool. So, thank you guys.